need to be a little bit quiet today because we don't want the animals to hear us. Welcome to day 2 of Ignite Imaginations and Sheffield Libraries holiday from home craft workshops, and today is Safari Day. We're really looking forward to making some bunting and animal masks with our artist Annie in a little bit. But just a quick reminder, if you have a Children's University passport, don't forget to send us your date of birth, the school that you attend, your first and last name, all to inquiries@igniteimaginations.org.uk, along with all your photographs of everything you've been making this week. Now, let's see if we can find Annie and get started on the workshop.
Hi everybody, my name's Annie. I am one of the artists from Ignite Imaginations. Today I'm going to be making safari bunting and masks with you. I've gathered together some of the materials that we'll need. We've got some cardboard. This was from an old cereal box. And if you've got some art card, that's great. I've got a little bit here, but I like to recycle things where I can. Other materials we've got are string and tape, pencil, scissors, and then we've got a variety of art materials. Just gather what you can, whatever you can find. I've got some felt tip pens, some paints here with the brush and water, some oil pastels, which are one of my favourite things to use. If you haven't got those, you might have wax crayons, a similar effect there. Some little bits of collage paper. This is from just a plain brown bag. I'm going to be using that on my bunting in a moment. Extra things for the mask. I've got a template, a couple of markers, and a little box of collage tricks here. Just some bits of coloured tissue that I've collected up together. And we've got some elastic. I didn't have elastic, so I've tied 3 elastic bands together. So for safari themed bunting, I've got my example up here, done a few different animals. Do whichever we like. What you will need first of all is a template. I've done a small one using A5 card, which is half a sheet of A4. So if you get your card and then fold it in half lengthwise. This is so that your triangle is equal. I'll take my ruler. If you haven't got a ruler, you can just use something with a straight edge like a book. Make sure you have the book owner's permission. And then you're going to take your ruler to draw a line, hold this up, from the bottom corner, from the bottom middle to the top corner. Same on the other side. There we go. I've got an elongated triangle now. This is the bit we're going to cut out and use as our template. Grab my scissors. There. Now we've got our template. I'll just write template on it so I don't accidentally use it. And we're going to draw around this to make the triangles that we want. I've made 5. It's up to you, however many you want. Don't know if there's a minimum number for bunting. Maybe 4, at least 4. Pencil. And just try and keep your template steady whilst you draw around it. You might want to get someone to help you if you're finding that a bit tricky. We've got a couple out of this cardboard. Cut those out. Fit another one in there if you wanted, but you'd have some folds down the middle. It's up to you whether that bothers you or not. Oh, I can just about fit another one in here. So play about with your template to get it to fit as best you can. Yeah, got 3 there. Just clear these bits out of the way. And then I'll do one more out of this nice white card so it's a bit more of a bright background. I use that one for my zebra pattern. If you've got little scraps of card, you can use that to test out any patterns you want to do. I had a little test run on here. So I'm going to do a zebra, which is just some black and white stripes, and also a tiger, that's black stripes with orange and yellow and red. We've got a leopard skin, kind of circles, just really irregular ones, with in kind of little groups of 3. I've used my oil pastels for those. And the crocodile one, that's quite time consuming with all these little circles. You might want to simplify it. So now we've got all our triangles cut out, we can get creative. I'm going to be doing the crocodile pattern first, which is just some irregular circles. It's a bit of an intricate pattern because there's lots of little circles on the one that I've done in between some bigger circles. I'm using a few different colours. I used green, and then I've got some brown and greys that I'm going to layer up over the top using oil pastels. If you haven't got oil pastels, then something like wax crayon's brilliant, or paint would be good as well. I think felt tip, it's harder to layer up in. Pencil crayon you can do it with. Just building up the layers now with some kind of light brown. And I've got some dark brown to go over the top as well. You can take your time a bit more than me. Yeah, I think that shows the idea. I'll just hold it up for you now. Because I've used oil pastels, this will work with wax crayon as well. Then you can just paint over the top and you can still see your pattern. There we go. I'm doing the stripy ones next. I've got a tiger stripe and a zebra. They're both irregular kind of stripy pattern. The tiger one with a black stripe on an orange and yellow background, and the zebra's just black on white. That's the one that I was using the art card for, the zebra. I just made a start on. That's nice with a bright white background. But this tiger one, we're going to put some other colours over the background, so it doesn't matter as much that it's on grey. I'm using a Sharpie marker. So I've run all my black felt tip pens out doing this. But black felt tip pen did work just fine. You could always use paint as an alternative. So the black stripes on the tiger one, and I'm going to add some red, orange and yellow now. If you want to have a look at different kind of tiger patterns, then you can look some up online if you've got internet access, which you probably have, otherwise you wouldn't be watching me now. I think the yellow would show up better on a white card background. But it should show up fine. I'm going to mix in a little bit of watercolour paint over the top. Just smooth it or blend it together a bit more. Just put in orange over now. a watercolour wash or watered down poster paint is great for filling in any little gaps. Save you spending hours colouring in felt tip. That's the tiger one. I'll move on to the zebra one now. I can find my black pen. I've got my little zebra example there. There we go. I've also made a leopard print pattern one. I've just used watercolour paints for this in little circles, quite irregular ones, in little kind of clusters of 3. We used brown and then a background of yellow. So now we've got all our pieces, we come to put them together. There's one I made earlier up here in Blue Peter fashion. I've used a ribbon for this one, so I had a nice ribbon lying about, and I've made holes just with a pencil through the bunting triangles and threaded the ribbon through. This one down here I'm going to stick on with string. Okay, so you turn all your artwork pattern side down. I like to spread my bunting triangles out a little bit, a bit of a gap in between them. I've just got some tape. I'm going to stick them on the back. At either end you can leave a little bit of extra, because then you can tie it onto something, a bit of extra tape, and you can make a loop if you want. You might like to put it in your window. Turn them over. Moment of truth. There we go. Okay, so now we're going to do our safari bird mask. The template here I've printed out on paper. If you've got a fancy printer that can print on thin card, that's fantastic. Print it out on thin card if you can. If not, then I've backed this. I'll show you. Just on some thin cards that I've nabbed from the back of a biscuit packet. Stuck it down with some just stick glue. PVA would be fine as well, as long as you let it dry, and then I've cut it out. You might need a bit of help with this around the fiddly bits. The eyes you can fold just to get in. This is the most important thing when you're doing a mask, that the eyes work for you, that you can actually see when you're wearing it, and then the rest is just decoration really. Oops. There we go. Moment of truth. See if you can see. There. If you're making your own, I've just drawn round 2p pieces with a similar gap in the middle. It's a bit scruffy there, but we'll tidy it up with some nice art materials and get that out of the way. To put the elastic in the sides, I've marked 2 little holes on for you, and you make your holes. You can either use a hole punch there, or you could just use a pencil, bit of blue tack behind, and go through. If you want to ask an adult for a bit of help with that, then do. I'd normally use elastic. I didn't have any, so I've tied these 3 elastic bands together. You can also use string or ribbon, but you might need to retie it to fit around your head when you wear it. Tie these on. I don't know how you are at knots. I need a bit of support with that. Or you might be a super knot tire. Right, now let's see if this fits. Yeah, just about, and I can see as well. Great. Alright, now if I don't get it stuck in my hair, oh no. Dear, don't let that happen to you. Then I'm going to decorate it now. I've put you a bit of decoration on the template, but make it your own. You know me and my tearing up tissue paper. Cut it out if you want to. Gonna decorate these feathers. This is inspired by a parrot, this mask here, or just a mishmash of exotic birds that you might find on safari. There's some weird and wonderful things out there, so you can go to town with your decoration. You can see this okay. Got a bit of red there. I think I'll keep him symmetrical. A bit of red on the other side. I started using a felt tip or fine liner on the feathers around the eyes to give those a bit of extra colour. And I might put a bit of colour around the eye. Green. Let's finish that green off. You have a bit more time than me, hopefully, and you can always stick a bit of tissue around the eyes to neaten them up. I'm going to do his beak, a bit of orange. Doesn't have to be orange, it's up to you. I've just done 2 little tissue paper triangles. Hopefully you've got some nice bits and pieces at home. You can find some different coloured papers, bits and bobs, magazines and things. Check you're allowed to use them. Yeah. Ooh, I might put a bit of extra orange in the middle. There. I'll show you what he looks like. Oh no! Broke him at the back. Freeing myself. You can always cover these in tape. There we go, safari bird mask. There we go, safari bird mask and bunting. Please keep watching for the rest of the week. We've got Pirate Day with Helen tomorrow, so I hope you enjoy that. Thank you for watching.